Yeah, he gave us the laugh. He gave us the good laugh.
I don't know why. I don't know why. Still to this day, right? When I meet Shaquille O'Neal, you know, you name them, they love that they hear that laugh or the Rod's dance. 45 years later, right?
Exactly. That's an iconic laugh, man. I tell you. Like everything you did, from your dance to your laugh, to some of the lines you gave.
Thank you.
My favorite role had to be the one in Martin, where you was on there trying to make somebody your concubine.
That was hilarious. That's one of my favorites too.
Oh, really? Oh my Lord! A lot of people say that. Prince Uche.
Yes.
Or as Martin is a Prince Uchi.
Now you're gonna have to give us some Prince Uchi tonight. We want some Prince Uchi. That is hilarious.
Mr. Thomas, you were a very large part of my childhood.
Oh, bless you, darling. Bless you.
Yes. Bless you. And guess what? One of your buddies told me to tell you hello. She called me yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Bernadette.
Miss Flo.
Flo.
Anthony. Flo Anthony.
Oh, Flo. Of course. Oh, my Lord. Yes.
She said, tell Ernie I said hello.
Well, we go way back. Always a sweetheart.
Right.
Yeah. Always a sweetheart. Yes.
I want to welcome everybody in the room. We have the legendary Ernest Thomas here with us. You guys know him as Raj Thomas from What's Happening. Give him a major shout out. We got our people in the room. Welcome. We got a treat for you, Ernest. We finna play that right now. So everybody stay tuned. Here we go.
All right.
The magnificent Ernest Lee Thomas. Most of you may remember Mr. Thomas from the cult classic What's Happening, one of my favorite shows, by the way. Also, you may remember him from What's Happening Now, the reboot of What's Happening. You may remember him from Everybody Hates Chris. You may even remember him from an episode of The Jeffersons in 1975. He's been in several films as well. One of my personal favorites is Malcolm X.
Ernest Lee Thomas, first and foremost, me and my partner want to just thank you for being here. Let you know how much respect we have for you as being a part of our childhood memories. The #1 show on the network in that time, and is still playing reruns to this day. One thing I do know about Ernest Lee Thomas, he's very humble. I mean, he has the success, but he remained humble through it all. And he always says, don't allow this fame and fortune to get to you or make you be someone that is arrogant or too high and mighty to, just give back and be kind to others. He never lost sight of that, and he's still out here doing his thing. Much love to you, Ernest Thomas. We want to just show you that love. We appreciate you coming on the show, and you're welcome here anytime. Thank you so much. We want you to know we'll never forget your role as Raj on What's Happening Now. You made an impact on us whether you know it or not, and we're still tuning into that show. Let's show Ernest Thomas some love.
Oh my God. Y'all gonna make me.
Yes.
Well, that made me a little misty-eyed. Thank you so much. I never take it for granted, so I thank God that he put it on your heart to seek me out and to give me that beautiful tribute. Thank you so much.
Yes. It was mainly this one right here, my partner.
Okay.
But I agreed that, we both should connect with you and, speak with you for your history and for all that you've done in the entertainment industry,
Yes. Thank you. Well, it's been a beautiful, it's hard to believe it's 45 years ago, as of August 5th this year, 45 years ago, top 10 show. And just God's faithfulness, because I prayed on that. I prayed to have a show and I wanted it quickly. I forgot. So all the haters, my friends have been acting for years. I was a late bloomer. So they've been in since they were, we were in grade school. I started in my 20s. So they went, who in the hell are you? How dare you?
Okay.
So anyway, but John 14:14 is real. Ask anything in his name, baby. Right. It was just me and God. Nobody believed but me and God, by the way. I had one friend and his wife hated him, so he could only say it so much because she hated him. She hated my guts,
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Wow.
She said I had no talent. Yeah.
That made you work even harder.
That's right.
But that is so true. Holding on to God's word, that is the keeper to success, brother, to longevity, to, everything, in the industry. Right. So we do have some questions for you. I'm going to let let's start with her question, and then I'll ask some questions. We have some fans in the chat who may want to ask a few questions too. Hopefully you'll be able to answer that. Sure. First, I'm not 50 Cent's daddy.
Who?
That's there was a rumor for a long time that I was 50 Cent's daddy. Yeah, seriously. No, I'm not lying. I would go to auditions and they'd ask me, come on, you just embarrassed you left him or something like that. I said, no, I'm not. That went on for a long time. So anyway.
Do we know who came up with that rumor?
We don't know. I had a friend call me even from Gary, and she said, no, Ernie, she said she heard it. I think it was some rap, somebody was in some hip hop, associated with hip hop said it. Okay. But I don't know if they must have been joking around or something, but people took that and ran with it. Seriously.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
wish.
I want his house. Exactly. I want that house. So, partner, you had your question that you wanted to go ahead and ask.
Okay. So, starting off, Mr. Thomas, I wanted to know, how would you describe your upbringing in Gary, Indiana?
Oh, I was just telling someone how you could leave your door open and unlocked, and how it really took a village to raise the child. Was in the projects, and they had fathers. I was probably the only one that I can remember that didn't have a father.
Wow.
And I just thought about that. All my friends had their father there, and the parents could reprimand you. So it wasn't like just your mother. If you did something wrong, Miss Hazelette, Miss Viola, anyone can say, Ernest, you know better than that, boy, you better get in that house. They can reprimand you without your mother wanting to fight them,
Right.
And so it really took, you go and stay over each other's home. You might eat dinner at one of the other neighbors' houses. No violence, no drive-by shooting. It was on Sunday. It's like clockwork. Everybody is going out to church. You see the sisters with their big church hats on, and I had my little suit. It was cheap, but I had my little welfare suit. But that's everybody was dressed up, it was like Sunday was church day. I mean, you knew it, and so I just, look, when I look around today, I don't see that. And I just remember that part and how much our teachers cared, and they would slip in that Black history with us,
Right.
They would just put that in, because my main teacher, Miss Thomas, she spanked you now. She was a Delta. She was a Delta Sigma Theta, and I didn't know nothing about the Greek, but she would tell us about the Greek alphabet, and I'm like, why are we learning this, And and she had that paddle on the wall.
Okay.
And so when I played, but I was bullied now. That's the only bad part.
Wow.
Because if you're smart, unfortunately at that time, if you were smart, you got, beat up, the teacher's pet, so nobody they didn't celebrate your intelligence. They didn't celebrate that I'm talking like the teachers. Instead, I'm trying to be white. Right. But all our teachers are Black. I'm just imitating their speech, right? So unfortunately, among my own, from from first grade, kindergarten on up to sixth grade, it was just everyday torment, pretty much. You're nappy headed, you look like a monkey, you got you're ugly, your clothes are cheap, you ain't got no daddy. All that was constant. Then I was a church boy, a church Pentecostal, so you a holy roller on top of that, because most people were Baptists and that type in our neighborhood. So it was just a constant, like, God with this, and thank God I was so centered in the church. And believed wholeheartedly that Jesus is my Savior, God is my Father, since I don't have a father, but God is my Father. My grandmother told me early on, don't worry about you not having a daddy. Your father can do the impossible.
Exactly.
But it still was like every day you dreaded going to school. So I started playing hooky, and Miss Thomas wouldn't have it, and she told me, she says, boy, don't you know you can be anything? Don't you know there's nothing you can't do? Now look, I gotta. She grabbed that, and she would grab me by the belt and hold and tighten you so your butt will kind of stick out. And babe, she went. But I thanked her. When I got What's Happening, I went back. Thank God before she died. I went back to thank her.
Oh, wow.
Yes, Miss Thomas. Yes.
Mr. Thomas, this is really hitting home for me because I'm an educator as well. And it's just sad. Yes. It's just so sad that, the experiences that you had so many years ago are still, taking place. That's sad.
It's sad. It really is. Just because, I mean, you can't get a A on the test or a B on the test, And then now I kind of, in fairness to my bullies, I learned later. I learned the first time though. The teacher, she said, Ernest, I'm leaving the classroom now. You take down names of anyone who's talking. And I went, because God said, don't lie. The church says never lie. So I'm writing names down.
Writing them names down.
Oh, I didn't know. My mother said, baby, you can tell a peaceful lie. God knows. God don't want you to get beat. You don't have to get people's names. Because I was running. Oh, I was running that day.
What a memorable story,
Really?
Totally against bullies. I was bullied. You and I have a lot in common. We were both born in Gary, and we faced them bullies. I had enough of the bullies to where I don't take that from nobody no more today.
Right.
But I wanted to ask you, I did some digging and I learned that you had once met Tupac. Can you tell us about that experience?
Wow.
Oh my Lord. Yes, man. God forgive me, but I've asked God for forgiveness because I didn't think well of him because of all the press, he raped somebody and he beat up someone. He got this attitude about this and that. So it was it's a hotel in Hollywood that was well known, and a lot of hip hop would stay there. And I represented a young man, Giovanni James, now, who's actually on Warner Brothers, and he's in New York. But so I was there with him. Then I saw Tupac in the lobby, and he looked over at me. I went, "Oh Lord," I'm like, this nigga. I swear, I hope he don't bring his butt over here. And then he starts, oh no, this rapist, I'm thinking all the negative stuff. And he got the biggest smile on his face, man. And he's like hypnotized coming towards me.
Wow.
Like he can't believe, And he just bear hugs me and said, man, thank you for the laughter. I mean, just held it,
Wow.
And I felt so bad. I'm thinking, if you only knew what I was.
But your mind changed when it did.
It did. It did. Oh my Lord, it did. And I tell people, and I say, I don't care if nobody likes me. If Tupac likes me,
You're good.
You all right?
I'm good.
Despite the tough exterior, I think inside of him, he was all right. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you. I totally agree.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
And I know he had it together up here too.
Oh my Lord. Yes. Well, I met his teacher. She's a Jewish young lady, and he gave her a lot of his literature for later on. And she actually teaches a lot of young brothers, look like in the younger years, the grade school, junior, how to get that message out. And she gave him all those books, Machiavelli. She said, look, don't be just the average rapper, you know, have knowledge. So she gave him all these books, and that's why, you know, and he gives her a lot. And he told her he wouldn't live long, though. He said, look, he said he would not live long. And look, listen to me now. Take this. It was like some poetry.
Yeah,
this is yours, you know, because I'm not gonna be here longer, you know, long. He knew he was gonna die. He said he was gonna die young.
Oh man, I hate to hear that.
Yeah.
I know, right? Yes.
Well, I wanted to know what sparked your interest in the entertainment industry. How did you become interested in the field of acting?
Well, you know what? I never wanted to be an actor. I swear. No one believes that. I swear, y'all. I loved everything about. I love Lucy. Make Room for Daddy. Y'all might be too young for that, but Bonanza. Have Gun Will Travel, Gunsmoke.
Oh yeah.
Wagon Train. All the westerns, but definitely all the comedies. But Lucille Ball was number one, and so I was just a spectator. I was just a fan of everyone.
Right.
And my friends like Robert Riley, who still, I think he's still in New York working, and but I would see him from grade school, junior high, high school. And another brother, I can't think of his name, but they were always in the plays. They could sing, and being Church of God in Christ, we weren't allowed to do any of that anyway.
Right.
Because it was known to be, it was like secular.
Right.
So I would just say, how do you guys do it? I said, oh, you're so talented. How do you remember all those lines and all this stuff, right? And so, I'm always that fan. And then I go to college, and my frat brother, I am a Kappa, but I love all the Greeks. I love all of them, just saying. Excuse me, I know. I love all the Greeks, but my Kappa brother, Ivory Smith, he had an older brother who had been in the Army, and he came there, and he wasn't a person who took to a lot of people, and he was feared, actually, because he had that demeanor like, he don't suffer fools lightly. Right. And so, but I think because I didn't have the father and all that, and when he would talk to me, I talked about, how that bothered me, but yet I knew God was the father, but it was nice to know who the guy. I never saw him, so he kind of took me under his wings, and I noticed anything that I would try to make him laugh, and he just he the more he laughed, the more things I would try. I remember particularly, one day I put like a T-shirt, like it's like hair, right, and then I put a pillow inside the T-shirt I was wearing, like I was pregnant, and I was just sad that. I was sad my man had left me. So he would just anything to make him laugh. And that's when he said, after so much of that he said, Ernie, you're an actor, man. He said, Ernie, I swear you can do whatever those actors do on TV or in the movies. I'm like, huh? Oh no, what are you talking about? No, I'm just being silly. And he said, no, man, you should at least take an acting class. I'm serious. God put that in him I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. That was so foreign, so far removed.
Right.
And so I did take the class. I took the class, and the teacher was a redhead. I remember that, a tall white guy with red hair.
Right.
All acting students in there, and so at the final test, you had to do various monologues. I did one from Hamlet and Julius Caesar, and I think I did the Gettysburg Address.
Wow.
But I thought, cause I was trying to be real, I took the sheet from the dormitory room because I'm trying to dress like Caesar and the Roman. They laughed. They were laughing.
I remember that outfit. I remember.
They were laughing at me because I come on stage, with the sheet on, but when I started speaking, everybody got quiet.
Yeah.
So I don't even know I got the talent. I'm just trying to be as real. I have no idea what they got. And then the teacher, he said, "Can I talk to you?" And he says, "I just want you to know, you can do this for a living."
Wow.
I said, "Oh, no, I'm going to be a social worker." And that's what I was determined to be, because we had the best social worker. She was a missionary. So her name was Missionary Taylor, who also was Church of God in Christ. That's how she introduced me to it, because my folks are all Baptists. So I was the only Kojic. And so I said, I want to be a social worker, and that's all it's going to be. But thank you anyway. And
right.
Then I auditioned for, there was a play, Romeo and Juliet. And so Jake said, you should audition for it, And again, I'm the only non-acting. I'm coming to the audition. I had seen the movie, so all I did was try to imitate what I saw the guy do there. It was a Prince Aeschylus. But I love the fact that he was a prince. He commanded authority. He's trying to keep the peace. So when I did my thing, I just jumped on stage and tried to basically do my version of him. And they said that everyone said, "Oh, you won't get it because the director, he's racist." They said, so he's not gonna hire, but so he ain't gonna, you can go, but you won't get it anyway, even if you were talented.
So he was so hated.
He was. So I go up there and do it, and this guy they said was racist, right? He says to the other people auditioning, he said, "I don't know about you, but I like to hear that one more time."
Wow.
And then but I'm still like, okay, I do it, and I get the role, and we travel to all the various high schools in Indiana. I did my first autograph signing, but still, like, this is just, a passing thing. No big, I'm still going to be a social worker. And
right.
So I graduated with my degree in sociology and psychology, and then I decided to get a degree in student personnel. So I started my master's. I had 1 year on my master's, and but it kept, that acting thing was there, but I went, it's like it won't go away, And I went, this is crazy, God. I know this is not real. Nobody gonna want, my mother, everyone want. I got to provide money. I can't.
Right.
I gotta get a job. So then Jake says, they have the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, which is the oldest English-speaking acting school in the world, and Robert Redford, you name all the greats. Wow. The other school they had them, but that was the first school. Spencer Tracy, you name it. It's like a who's who, and so Jake believed that I could get accepted. He drives me they're coming to Chicago at the LaSalle Hotel in Chicago. And the executive director, and Jake threatens me. He threatens to kick my butt if I get all the way there, then I get cold feet, right? Oh. And I said, Jake, I can't. Did you see the list of people that went to this? Robert Redford, so and so. I said, I can't. He said, Ernie, get your ass up there. And remember, Jake is feared. And he looked, we can look like everybody. We can look Asian. He looked like he was Chinese and black, because he had Indian in him, right?
Right.
And he gave me that look, and he got a 6-pack of Schlitz malt liquor.
Yeah.
He said, so get your ass up in there, and when you come down, we're gonna celebrate. So I go with fear and trepidation, go up there. I do the same thing I did for the class, those monologues. The guy says, welcome to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. Now, like, oh God, what is going on here? You know?
Wow.
So from there, I can't tell nobody. I don't want to tell no one because I get a good job.
Right.
Not as a social worker. I get a job at the Midwest Steel Mill. The only Black ever in that position of human relations.
Wow.
But my goal, they don't know. I'm just working there to get 6 months of checks so I can afford the acting school.
Right.
But nobody knows that. My mother don't know it. My frat brothers, everybody's like, oh, the first Black in that position. And I had to resign. I had to leave. And that's when everybody knew and thought that I had lost my mind. And understandably, you know, they thought I'm going to go back to school, right? I'm going to start all over. And from there, that's you know, from there I got 2 years at American Academy, did Broadway, Hal Prince, you know, who's the king producer of Broadway, you know, Phantom of the Opera, West Side Story. When you get an endorsement like that, and he wrote me a letter saying, Ernie, you're, he says that you're an incredible actor. I wish I kept that letter, man, but he wrote me such a beautiful letter. Then Tony Perkins, who did Psycho, you know, and that film still is out, but he was directing. So I got in a film play that he directed, I got the lead. And Lawrence Hilton Jacobs had done Cooley High and Claudine. So I saw him. I went, oh, man, man, you are so, man. I know you're going to get this part. He said, look, man, don't say that. He said, you do your thing, young man, like that, right? So I thank him. Even to this day, I love Lawrence Hilton Jacobs because he could have had attitude and ego, and I got the role. And I got to know. Then I got like Bravo standing ovations. That's why someone nicknamed me the Bravo Kid. That was a hater though, but I took it, man.
Okay.
I made it positive because every night that performance, we was in Falmouth, Massachusetts. I mean, the crowd just erupted, you know, and they were writing in the reviews, he's like a Black Panther prowling the stage, devouring everyone. I mean, all this, you know, and it was like a dream come true. Yet I'm thinking, Lord, what is it? And so again, everybody's upset with me because my mother and my grandmother don't understand theater. So I said, when I got with Hal Prince, and Glenn Close was in this, the great Glenn Close was a member of the wedding that I did. And so I was so happy. Helen Hayes Theater, I called my mother up and I'm trying to explain. I said, Mom, I'm on Broadway. She said, Broadway, what should I'll come and pick you up? So I said, no, Mom, no, like you know, like in church, you got the pulpit, but this is like a stage, and they didn't understand none of that. So that was disappointing because I couldn't celebrate it with them, right? And then my grandmother got on the phone and she said, well, when you gonna be on TV, baby? You like that? That's all she knew. Because grandma and mom never watched anything, but my grandmother liked Tom Jones. So I think she had a little crush on Tom Jones, to be honest with you. Okay. But so then from there, then it was this. I had 4 deaths in a row. My god sister, I had an uncle, I had a cousin, and my grandmother all died like one rapid. And so Ernie, you want to talk? You want to talk it out, man? And you know, you need a hug and all that. I said, no, God gotta have something special for me, but I'm trying to figure out why am I going through this, right? And so I'm not saying I heard a voice, but in my spirit, I felt I needed to do something bold. So I remember Grandma said, when are you gonna be on TV? And so I said, I'm gonna go to California. I ain't got nowhere to stay. I ain't got no agent. I had the nerve, the audacity to take a red eye because I said, I don't want nothing to return to. Ain't no return, you know, ain't nothing to fall back on. So people thought literally, he's losing his mind. You got Broadway going, you're doing great here. Now you're gonna go where you don't have nowhere to stay, you know, no agent, and you think you're gonna get a TV show. But John 14:14, I bought into that. I totally believe, ask anything in my name. And I said on the plane, Lord, if you give me a show, Lord, I will give you the glory, Lord. But I want the lead, Lord. I want the lead in the show, Lord. I want it to be a positive road, Lord. And I will always give you the glory. I had no idea it would be beyond all my imagination, all my expectations, right? Wow. Because the people that I admired, all of a sudden, Dr. Maya Angelou and Cicely Tyson, Muhammad Ali, you know, Burt Reynolds, George C. Scott, Lucille Ball, everybody giving me praise, right?
Right.
It was just an out-of-body experience. And the only downside of that, it was like, this is so heavenly, Lord. It must mean something bad is going to happen. And I want to tell everyone out there, when God blesses you, like you're like, oh God, this is too good to be true.
Too good to be
you
true.
Gave me everything. You got to receive it. And I was at that. I just, for some reason, this crazy thought was that I was gonna die any minute. You know, any minute now, because I had the top 10 show. Everybody, all these people I admired was loving me and all that. So life is too good.
Right.
It gotta mean I'm gonna die at any minute. So I'm thinking any minute I'm gonna drop dead, right? And then they had Mayor Hatcher had the Ernest Thomas Day, June 9th, and Coretta Scott King was there.
Oh wow!
Jesse Jackson was there. Dick Gregory was there, and I can't. Oh God, the other brother was there. I can't think of his name, but people didn't care about none of them, and I love them. But everybody was Raj fever. I had no idea. Now I really think I'm going to die because I'm in this parade and I'm waving and people are they have to keep the crowds back. I mean, people are going crazy, right? And I'm just waving everybody. I said, okay, I know, Lord, the bullet is coming any moment now. I know the bullet is coming. And, you know, I said, Lord, but it's been good. Thank you, Lord, because you gave me everything I asked for. The bullet is coming, you know. And I'm looking around. They don't know. I'm smiling, but thinking, okay, I just wanted to be real quick though. I just want when the bullet hit, let me just go. I don't want to suffer, Lord. Don't let me suffer. And this is true. That honest God truth. And and then when Mayor Hatcher tried to introduce me, at the end of the parade. They had the stage there and he was going to introduce me. He couldn't do it. They bum rushed the stage where the police had to come in and try to pull people off. Touch my baby. Oh, here's my daughter. Here's my son. Okay, just touch my hand. And now I'm like, okay, somebody got a gun. Somebody here, right? So now it's gonna happen wrong. So they're gonna stab me with a knife, or someone got.
Man, you was thinking all the wrong thoughts.
All the wrong stuff. All that wasted time, right?
He had you. The most humblest people, you know, such as yourself. Sometimes we doubt ourselves.
Yes, brother. Yes.
But at the end of the day, he got us. You know what I'm saying?
He got us. And you got to receive that God is too good to be true. That's why he's God.
That's right.
That's a miracle's like, oh, how did this happen? That's the whole point of it, right?
That's right.
You know, you started to doubt yourself in the beginning, but God started putting those little nuggets in your ear, like, no, you're gonna do it. You can do this.
Yes.
You listen. You stepped out on faith, and you went to California. And did thing, and there's the rest, you know?
Yes. And the devil said, let me mess with him. He got all this.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell him he's going to die. I'm going to tell him. So I tell young people, I said, look now, when you get this, just receive it.
Right.
Just receive it and love it. All the people you admire, they're gonna be admiring you. Just receive it. Like, how can this be? It just is, because God is God. You know, there's nothing impossible for him. So just roll with it, swim in it. You know.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
We have one question in the chat from B Sugar 100. She says, "Do you still keep in contact with your co-host on the show of What's Happening? Do you still keep?"
Yeah, well, you know, there's only 3 of us now.
Yeah.
And I do miss them. You know, Fred Berry, Rerun died. Shirley died. Mabel King died as well. And Thalmus Rasulullah, who was my father, he also passed.
Right.
So it's only Danielle Spencer, who was Dee, and Haywood Nelson, who was Dwayne. And yeah, we're very close. But Danielle's a veterinarian, you know, she was always straight A's. And so she's in Virginia, and Haywood is in New York. You know, he's another genius. He flies planes. He got a pilot's license.
Wow.
He's an engineer, great with words. Like if you need a letter, you know, a persuasive letter to make someone, he's got that gift. Yeah.
Wonderful. Oh wow.
Yeah, they were the smartest. I'm telling you, they were little geniuses, honestly. And they loved me like the big brother. And I appreciate it more now. At that time, I kind of like it was annoying, you know, because hey y'all, look, we do a show together. Y'all ain't got to come home with me. Okay. You got to come home. You got a daddy, you got a mama. Right. I have my own life. They wouldn't have it, especially Danielle.
Wow.
No. You know, I was the brother. She could not. To her, it was all the same. And to the point, Shirley Hemphill finally told me, she said, "What is wrong with you, fool? They love you. What is wrong? They love." And I didn't get it because your friends are usually your age. So now I got these little people. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And Danielle, and they would come over to my house and get in the pool, and they just admired me, looked up to me, and when they started dating, Danielle would want me to meet the boyfriend. What did I think? Haywood wanted me to meet the girlfriend.
Wow.
And you know, I mean, even though they had their parents, but they wanted my approval. So even when they got married, same thing. They want, before they got married, I had to meet that prospective husband or bride. And, now I said, Lord, it took me a long time to get it. But they really, I was their brother. That's all it. I was their big brother.
Wow. Yeah. That's great to hear, actually, because, the shows that come, that have come out and they talk about what was actually going on behind all these television shows. And we found out all, the nefarious things that were taking place, and the cast members hated each other. So that's actually refreshing to hear.
Yes. I mean, we had, like any family, we had our disagreements, but we never hated each other.
Right.
And we always asked forgiveness, Because, you might, our egos get in the way. You don't want to say you're sorry at the time. And then later on, and Fred Berry, I remember before he passed away, he was at Ernie Byrne. I don't know why he called me Ernie Byrne. Don't ask me. I don't know why. I was Ernie Byrne. Ernie Byrne, I just want to apologize for this, and I did this, I did that. So we were like family. I mean, day one, you knew that God had his hand on that show, because on day one, when I walked into that room and saw all of them, there was a spirit. You cannot explain it. Like it was a reunion.
Right.
I had never met these people.
Yeah.
Right. And when I got in that room, I felt like we were together. We had always been together.
Wow.
And when I touched their hands, it was like electricity. I mean, like a chill, right?
Yeah. Like it was meant to
be. Only God can make that happen. Because you can get a show full of stars. You see a movie with superstars and it fails because the chemistry ain't there.
That's right.
God gave us that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And look at how you've impacted, the world I mean, and it's still in syndication, you know. So
Yes,
you're
yes.
again,
Yeah.
you were role models for
Thank you.
and you
Thank
being the older brother, of course, you know, we looked up to Raj, you know, so
Yeah.
and that
Most
laugh,
definitely.
you know, everyone knows that laugh
Right.
all around the world.
And the dance. I can't do
Dance.
it
And
like
Raj
you do it.
said, right.
But
And you know, I got to, at 72, I got to be gentle with it, right? So I don't want to crack
No, no, that's not what we
don't crack nothing.
Right. Now, all your roles, think back to the very beginning. What is your absolute favorite role that you ever played? I mean, it could be a television show, movie. What was your absolute favorite?
Well, you know, I get that question all the time, and it's when you think of the iconic the Raj that people just fell in love with as their big brother and
Right.
and favorite son and friend, and a lot of people went to school and got their degrees. I've heard doctors said they, because I was, you know, the valedictorian of my class and I spoke the way I spoke, all that. Like Chris Rock said, that watching me, he's on my book, you'll see that quote, watching me made him believe anything was possible.
Wow.
Because I was the first black nerd. You know, I didn't always get the girl. You know, I wasn't cool, and so he felt that connection with me that he couldn't with the other, you know, with other
Right.
Characters. So, and then Terry Crews, you know, what he says about me, that his admiration, you know,
Right.
Christophe St. John, the late Christophe St. John, God bless him, you know.
Right.
Rob Zombie, you know, the musician and the horror director, and he said that I asked him for a quote, and he says that he remembered the Doobie Brothers episode, right?
Yes.
So he said Ernest Thomas. He said his quote was, Ernest Thomas is a scene stealer. You know, you can put him in any play or movie. I don't care who's in it. All eyes are going to be on him. And I went, oh God, that's intimidating. You know, I went, oh no, I got to live up to that. So then you look at Malcolm X. That was so hard to get because Spike didn't want me initially, and I had to really, you know, 3 callbacks and all that. And I still didn't think I was gonna get it, but then I got it, and
Right.
and I love Sidney X. You know, I love him. You know, and then Mr. Omar. That Chris Rock chose me. Chris Rock and Ali Leroy created that role for me.
Right.
I didn't have to audition for it. That's intimidating. Now you got to create. They have never seen you do this part, but here it is, and you got to make something out of it. And I just said, Lord Jesus, thank you for the gift, you know. And I went for it, and then Mr. Omar appeared.
Right.
You know, I said, Lord Jesus. You know, and so I think about the millennials don't know about what's happening, but they see me and man, they go crazy. They go nuts over Mr. Omar and tragic. They want to hear that all day long, all night long. They want to film you doing it, right? And so because of Chris Rock, because of Mr. Omar,
yeah,
I'm all over the world. So I get fan mail from Switzerland, England, France, Germany, Hong Kong, Brazil. And that's a whole nother thing. Now, who knew, right?
Right.
So you got the baby boomers, you know, what's happening. And then you got the millennials with Mr. Omar. So he has blessed me tremendously. So it's hard to, you know, then I've done some stage plays that I wish you guys could have seen because, you know, God, you know, again, you know, that we sell out Don B. Welch and Brandy Burks. They are 2 playwrights that did a lot more for Don B. Welch, and he and Will Smith and Jada are his benefactors.
Right.
And he would produce plays at the Wilshire E. Bell Theater.
Right.
And so you know, just to see the audience. They talk to you, you know, black folks. Yeah, Raj. Oh, he sounds just like us. Oh, we love. So and that's, I tell you, it's nothing like that. Ain't no, you ain't got nothing to save you on stage.
No.
If you don't know your line, but I go over it. I go over like 50 to 100 times because I don't want to get embarrassed.
You got to save yourself.
That's right.
Yeah, and I just did 5 movies. I just had a head-on collision, by the way, too. That I thank God I survived the head-on collision.
Sorry to hear that.
And I'm on a pain pill right now.
Oh no!
I'm on a pain pill right now because it was not only physically painful but psychologically, where I just could not. I started getting depression and anxiety, and I would never think to see a therapist, but I went. The doctor suggested, because I said no, I don't want to ever drive again, and this depression is coming out of nowhere, just arbitrarily, and I'm like, how do people deal with this who are bipolar? That has been, so through having to do these 5 movies because I was committed to them. God is amazing. Again, it's just but those 5 roles, and I go all in. I study that character from beginning to, every part of him. I go over and over, and the more you go over it, you find things, and each time it takes so much out of me. Right. Yeah. And they like to give me a lot of lines. I'm like, I am 72 years old. I don't know why y'all think I want all these damn monologues. Okay.
That's all right.
But God made me, and you know what? I have to say, those 5 roles, I am so grateful. And I always say, Lord Jesus, thank you for the gift. And I jump on in. And without fail, it ain't about what you did in rehearsal, right? Once you said, Lord Jesus, thank you for the gift, that other thing comes. Yeah. He comes. You don't do what you did in rehearsal.
Right.
There's a knowingness that only he could give you. Right. And you find yourself almost being out of your body. You can't help the character he is, because Lord, I want to surrender to the truth of this character, Lord.
Right.
And it just gives you, it's a high that is better than any sex, any drink, any drug. That high that you get from that. So I did 5 roles, and the last one was a pastor, Tammy Mack. Tammy Mack is a well-known. She has a show on Fox Soul, and she works with Stevie Wonder, KJLH. She has her own show there, and she wrote her first movie, and it is incredible. And doing this pastor, I had no idea, because I said, Lord, I'm gonna give up acting after this. I'm tired of it. I just want to get this role over with. And when I went down there in Houston, Texas, and did this part, Pastor Joseph, I'm telling you, something got a hold of me. That part, and she kept pushing me more and more, and it was a chill, a high. You just knew that God was there. So I was reborn again in the acting, because I felt like, oh, I want to do a sitcom. I want to do I got to do. And so I said, God, what is going on now? I said I was done with this acting. All right.
So you had kind of lost your desire there for a minute, but it rebooted.
It rebooted. It rebooted. After that role, it rebooted. I'm telling you, I was on fire, And so now I said, and I feel like God is going to bring me another. Yeah.
Right. And coincidentally, I was reading somewhere your favorite episode of What's Happening was the Doobie Brothers. And I was like, oh my God, that's like my all-time favorite. And my favorite acting role so far as movies are concerned was Malcolm X.
Thank you.
You played that role. You did.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, the Doobie Brothers are really good guys too. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We have a lot of your fans in the chat wishing you well, saying you look great, and showing the love for you. We have an interesting question from Prince Daniel. He says, if there ever was Everybody Hates Chris reboot, could we expect to see more of Mr. Omar?
You know what? I prayed, they are doing, and I had prayed on it. I was trying to do Mr. Omar animated. I was trying to get them to do my Mr. Omar said, look, it's all about me, But the next thing I heard, they're doing an animated version of Everybody Hates Chris. I mean, that's actually it was in the Hollywood Reporter and Deadline News. And so I don't know, I know that people, associate me with the role. I pray that they do. I would love to be a part of it. Yeah, I would love, I want Mr. Omar to have his own show. And there was talk of that. Then they didn't do it, but now they have an animated version. So I know Chris Rock's right-hand guy and one of the producers, and he said, look, I'm going to put a word in. And then I said, Lord, let me just trust in you, and however it goes, I pray that they do use me, but I don't know, they might try to use a bigger name, how they, I don't know, whatever. And I said, I'll still wish them well, because I know, again, if that's not it, then God got something even greater for me.
That's right.
But I still wish them all the best. So I said, I even told him, I said, man, don't even worry about asking Chris about it. God told me to let that go because I'm giving it too much. Right? Mm-hmm. So if it happens, I would love for it to happen, because what's mine, you can't take it from me. What is yours is no way, I can take your blessing or your blessing, right?
Do it.
So I had to let it go. But I would love to do Miss Omar again.
Question. You have a question?
No, you go ahead, partner. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to know. And this is something I love to ask people, because, when you're in your 20s, of course, you know everything. If you
what you trying to say?
You know everything.
What you trying to say?
I think that was a little shade.
Hey, all of us, unfortunately, have been through that. If you could go back, let's say to 1976, what are 3 things that you would tell your younger self? So if you could go back, because I know that's 75, 76, that's kind of when you're getting started. What are 3 things you would tell your younger self?
Oh, that's a great question. One I know is to not worry, that the worry, I tell the young people when I do the talk, I said, you don't know how much time I wasted, because I got there, of course, again, because you're still human. Even though you believe John 14:14,
right.
You are in a foreign, I've never been to California. I could have been killed. I'm by myself. Nobody believes in it but me and Jesus Christ.
That's right.
So I have all these, I'm just alone. My mother thought I was voodoo, that someone got some type of spell on me. The Church of God in Christ, I'm going to hell, right? So at that time, now they've changed, but at that time, Denise Williams, also, she was going to hell because she was also Kojic. Her grandfather was my pastor. So you all that worry, and it bothered me that the church said that. It bothered me that my mother felt that. It bothered me that my frat brothers didn't believe in me. People joked. I was, thinking that I had lost my mind again. Here I am, and I'm staying on somebody's couch here, somebody's floor over here.
Wow.
I'm just going to this agent I'm rejected. And you go back to this little dingy, there was a hotel there. It's like $35 a week. So it was, and it felt like $35 a week too, by the way. Okay. It felt, you could feel the bed springs, all that. And I remember being in there at night, because I would put on my face during the daytime, and they like, look at that fool. Hey man, yeah, you still gonna get that show? I said, yes, I am. And everybody like, ha ha ha. They all laughing, right? And I said, yeah, God told me I'm gonna get it. And they just laugh, and I just put the because God said act as though it is.
Right.
So I would always do that. But when I got back after rejection that day, this agent don't want you, that one don't want you. I get back in that room in the dark, you know, in the wee hours of the morning, baby.
Yeah.
And I'm crying a river of tears.
Oh yeah.
Like, God, what have I done? I am here by myself. Nobody believes this but you, you know, but he don't tell me to go home. And I say, y'all have no idea the despair, you know, the pain of despair, the depth of despair when you have nobody believes it but you and Jesus. All right. And I cry myself to sleep.
Oh, wow.
So I would tell my younger self, God got it. He said, ask anything in my name. He said, don't worry at all. All right. So what did I do? I work. So that was one thing. And I'm trying to think of another thing would be probably the fear of death.
Yeah.
You know, and now it was a good part of it was the fear of death made me work harder. Because I went, and I tell young people, you should work at every day. If you want success, work at it like it's your last day. Like every day is your last day. I wouldn't have been here. I wouldn't have made it without, John 14:14. But I believe if I don't do this, I'm going to die. So I'm going to die young. Anyways, I got to do this real quick. So I was relentless. No staying in bed, no day, you know? So I got up, whether I felt like it or not, I got up. And I would shower crying, put that suit on, that same suit. I had about 3 of them. So it was variations of that with a different shirt. And I would put on that, you know, put that face on. But that fear of dying, that God is too good to be true. And that's why he's God. But that's the beauty of it. It's the miracles of God. And so receive that, you know, don't fear. Yeah, I mean, know that work at it every day like it's your last, but don't fear that God's gonna take it. He's gonna do something, he's gonna let something bad happen. So that's another one. Right. And I probably, when I think about it now, because I would not work, I felt that I couldn't get a job. So I would ask somebody different, you know, can I get $5 here? I was called my mother for, Jake. I would ask Jake, Jake, I need $50 here. And so and then from the acting, from doing the stage stuff, I had a little unemployment coming. Right. You know, but even by there, about $200, $100, whatever. So that was something. So I would tell my young self, get a job as a waiter. And that's why I tell my proteges, because as a waiter, you're and make sure it's a restaurant that all the celebrities and producers go to, right? The powers that be come in, and make sure you look good, smell good, put your best cologne on, right? Pray before you go in to work, because now you don't know who you're serving. And then it's an acting class because you got all these different characters, right? So we are, we're empath. You know, I feel everybody. I feel everybody's pain to the point that I thought I was dying once, and it was just that I had done too much of going around and telling young mothers, you lost your child to gang violence, and I didn't realize that I was taking too much in. But through it all, you gotta, I lost my thought. Please forgive me. 72.
No, that's totally fine.
That's fine.
Ernest, I have one more last question for you. I was snuggling over some stuff, and I read that you were interested in having a stage play about your life. Is that true?
That's absolutely true. Yes, based on my autobiography, From Rags to Riches. Which do I have a copy of it? No, I don't have a copy. I thought I had a copy. No, I don't have a copy of it. Okay, but based on the autobiography, I wanted a musical because church was the church and music, the whole, from the church music to Aretha Franklin and Motown, and so we all that, definitely a soundtrack of your life. And I just see it, I feel it and see it, and my manager and I are working on a documentary about it. And I have a great manager, KC Caldwell. He's also works with athletes as well, but he's
Right.
incredible. So, but I can see that stage play because it's such it's from Raj to Riches, but you got all the life behind that, all that church,
Yeah.
all the stuff he went through, bullying, all that stuff in high school, and the whole, going to college, 5 years of college, and then Hollywood itself. I met a young brother I did a play with, did a movie with in Arizona. His name is Sir White, S-I-R. That's his birth name, I know, right? S-I-R, Sir. And he sent me a video of him doing Ali, and I wanted Muhammad Ali was my benefactor. I don't know if y'all, but he was my friend. He saved my life during the time when I was really out there, and had, after the show had ended and I gave away all the money. Ali, I met him and he just took me under his wing. So I have this young brother who is perfect for the role of Ali. I met another young brother, David Green, in that same movie called 1 Hour. Bishop John Wynn. He's an incredible bishop, man of God, but he's also a filmmaker. And he would play Jake. This guy would play Jake. So, but that musical, I see one scene I see is my mother, because my mother, they were saying she would not live. She went 8 years ago. She was in a coma, had the pneumonia. The doctor's telling me that she would, that Mr. Thomas, we don't expect any good news. And I said to them, and doctors, they're very clinical and they believe in education, but they were not talking God. So they were just these 4 specialists. We don't know, brother, we're trying to find out what it is, why she's in it. We don't know what it is that she's like this. And I said, doctors, I respect your intelligence and your skills, but I believe in the supernatural power of Jesus Christ. I've seen healing, divine healing. We didn't have no one from the news coming. We didn't start telling everybody about it. We weren't trying to raise an offering about it. I've seen people broke down and suffering, and hands laid on them, and they jumping and shouting. So my mother will walk out of here. And she did. It took 6 months, but mom walked out of there. And all they could say was, strong lady. I said, no, strong God. Okay? Strong God. I don't hear that. Strong God. All right. So the one scene I see is my mother, and not that this happened, but I just see her coming out of that coma. They always have a musical, I love Tyler Perry stuff, and how there's always a song after they tell there's a scene, then the song comes. And so I can see my mother, have come out, we're praying for her, and she looking like she's dead in that coma, and then she comes out of it, right? And she sings a song. I don't know what that song is, but the whole place is a mess. People standing up, people shouting, people speaking in tongues, shouting, because it is so real, and I have to have actors who can really do that. But that's the one scene. That's all I got, right? But I see that scene of my mother, because honestly, the 6 months she was in the hospital, you can say you believe I'm still human.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I cried every night because, the thought is, God, I'm not God. Maybe she won't make it, Lord. Maybe not this time.
Right.
You took my grandmother, so it could be, but I said, Lord, I'm just asking, and then we have prayer warriors. I will put out emails and tell friends, I need you to pray. So everyone had they had prayer warriors, and it just got that chain of people praying. And Dr. Cindy Trim, the evangelist, I went to see her and got some blessed oil from her, and I put it all over my mother's bed and all that, and I had nobody around her bed that was crying. I don't want nobody, because crying is a form of disbelief.
Absolutely.
So I only had people who were strong. I say, if you cry, baby, cousins and all, look, say your butt home, baby. I love you. You can't come here. Keep those tears. Oh yeah. I said, I gotta cut you off right there. Ooh, no, ooh, go take your ooh home. We ain't doing that.
When I tell you that's this one right here, keep them tears away. No negative vibes.
No negative vibes. I
Oh,
tell you that all the time.
I love it.
Some people, I see them coming, and everything is negative. Stop.
Yes.
I'm going in the opposite direction, because like you said earlier, you could be just as happy, and then someone can come and unload on you, and when they leave, you start feeling really bad, and you don't know why, because they just unloaded all of that negativity on you.
Someone just did it the other day, and they sneaked it on me. They were real and I know they were going through a lot, right? 4 hours I was listening to this friend, and God bless her. She's a sweet lady.
Right.
Then another friend, it was 3 hours, and my mother said, "You got to stop doing that, baby, because I'll be all, I'll be all sad." And so another friend told me, Ernie, they dumping on you. When you said that, I didn't look. They dumping on you, and you got a listening ear, but it's affecting you, man.
It is. It will.
And it would bother me. I'm crying and stuff, and I got to stop it.
You have to, for your own, sanity and state of mental well-being.
Yes. Man.
I want to ask you something, Ernest. Was Ali, was he older or younger than you?
He's older. I think he's about maybe 7 years older, like 7 or 8 years older. Not that much, but 7 or 8 years older. Yeah, and he at that time the Parkinson's wasn't in. This is 82. But he talked, when I think of, he did mention it. He mentioned he and Bundini got into an argument in the mansion. Right. And Bundini said, Ali, boxing, God bless you with boxing, so you could be, this tool of peace and love and for civil rights. But he said, but boxing didn't do nothing for my brain, did it? And I didn't get it. I didn't get what he was saying. Like, what does he mean? And I didn't, but now, then later on, the Parkinson's, so it must have been something happening even then, but the effects of it wasn't there yet.
Right.
And he was very funny though. Funny. Oh, that man would do everything to make you laugh. Oh my God. And he told me
funny but kind.
Oh, so the best, the kindest person. I've said this in church. I said Ali is the best example of Christ that I know beyond most Christians. I'm sorry, because he gave 2 Christians. I remember that pastor coming in. They needed land for a Christian school. Ali gave them the land. He gave that guy the land. He's helped the Jewish people with their senior citizens. He's helped the towns. He don't care. Jehovah's Witnesses, and they be saying, oh, they come there and asking, oh yeah, but you're a heathen and all that. And Ali ain't doing nothing. He ain't saying nothing to them, right? You hungry? They don't even get it. They call him a heathen. He's asking, are you hungry and what you need? He said to me, well, you see what I just did? I said, yeah, I couldn't do that because I've been cussing somebody out. I would have cussed them out long. God got to work with me on that. I would have cussed them out. But Ali's so patient.
He was. Yeah. I watched that PBS documentary on Muhammad Ali recently, and I didn't even realize everything that he was doing, because he didn't brag about it, but he did a lot. And those last few years, he was warned to stop boxing because his kidneys were affected, and the head trauma. They told him to stop. He would not. He says, they had to build a mosque. This has to be done.
I know.
He gave his life.
He gave his life.
And what his favorite saying was, your rent here for staying on this earth is your service to other people.
Oh, yes. I love that. He believed that.
That's deep.
Yes. I mean, he believed. I have been at the mansion when they would say, somebody come over, oh, we need you for this charity. We need you for the cancer here. We need you for another charity. And he'd be sitting there, and when they leave, he'd go like, I'm so tired, but I got to do it. And I said, why are you guys? He said, I again, your rent you have to pay. He said, I've been blessed beyond measure.
Yes.
I got to do it to the last breath. Whether I'm tired or not,
that is so
I got to do it.
Yes. Yes.
And he definitely, with me, anything I wanted, anything I needed,
wow.
He gave me. Yes.
I did see a picture of you two when I was looking up some of your work. I did see a picture of you two together.
Oh, it's still for me. I said, God, he knew, because certain things he was telling me, he knew that I would tell. He knew I'm going to give this testimony,
right?
Because I witnessed him being so kind to some white people who might have been a little racist, but they loved him.
Right.
And he would say it to them in such a way with humor and just say, try to be better.
Right.
Right. I mean, there was one time I remember was at this hospital and he said, let's go and visit the people with cancer who are just terminally ill. Let's do it because God wants to do it. So we go into then if they said, all the doctors want to meet you, so could you come down? And they had all the doctors, a lot of doctors came in this one room to just say hello to him. So and he says, now think about this. All of y'all, you got where you went? You went to Harvard, or someone said, they went here. All your degrees, and he said, as much as you admire me. Now I'm the most famous face, in the world. I mean, my name is all. I mean, the president can't go. President of the United States can't go to place I can go. Right? He says, but in spite of that, all the millions I've made, the most recognized face in the world, isn't there just a little bit of you because you're white that thinks you're better than me?
Yeah.
You still wouldn't want to be me. And baby, I will never forget. They just was like, and he said, it's okay. It's okay. And they just did like this.
Yeah.
I swear. It was a moment. And he said, that's all right. He said, that's all right. I just wanted that it's still there. So just be more loving, understand,
right.
Just try to get that out of you. And then when we leave there, he says, did you see what I just did? You just see what he didn't like, He just gently.
Yeah.
Just gently. Right. And just as he told the church about he had me like, hey y'all, look at Raj. He's Jesus on the cross. All right. He said, now this is white people, right? He says, imagine y'all see this black Jesus all your life. All of the angels are black. When you feel a little inferior, everything is black and you white, and they went, yeah. He said, now you understand what black people feel because you have all these images of Christ and God and the angels as white. So I want you to do me a favor. Take those images down. God said worship in spirit and in truth. I'm not telling you to become a Muslim. Stay Christian,
right?
But you're not helping us as a people when you put up these huge portraits of Christ with the blonde hair and the blue eyes and so this stuff. But he did it in such a gentle way and with humor. He got me like stretched out with the arms and, and I'm on the cross. But they got it. He said, so when you tell your preachers, tell your ministers, tell your mother to think about worship God in spirit and in truth. So stuff. He was just amazing. There's so many instances where he would use humor. A guy might say a thing that he don't even know is racist, a white person,
right? And
he would wait and he say something with humor, and the guy would like, oh my God, But he didn't beat up the guy. He just would come back with a joke about it,
right?
And make him be embarrassed about it. That was
his way, yeah.
Oh my Lord. Tell the truth. I mean, with a dagger, but it was love with a dagger.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. That was Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
The greatest ever to do it.
The greatest ever. That's the greatest.
Ernest Thomas, we have a question. Donna Joyner, what's your sign? What's your zodiac?
Oh, I am Aries, baby.
Me too.
You too?
March 28th, and you're the 26th.
What? You March 28th?
Yes, sir.
I knew it. I said,
Wow.
that's
Wow.
baby Aries. Come on. The first time. Come on.
I'm Aquarius.
It's just about
What are you?
Aquarius.
Mr. T.
Aquarius. My mother's Aquarius. Yeah, my mother's Aquarius. But yeah, I'm Aries to the bone.
I forgot to mention that to you. I read that and I'm like, oh my God, he's the 26th and I'm the 28th.
Oh my God. Oh, that's incredible. That's incredible, baby. Yes. Yeah, I am. Because I used to like, oh, such and such. But then this lady showed me, she read this whole thing. I went, oh, I thought she was reading my biography, you know? I said, oh, that's me. Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Wow.
It's so great to catch up with you, Ernest.
Always.
You are a kind individual. You're humble.
Back at you.
You didn't let the success get you, all up there.
Oh, no.
Fully against the arrogance and the cockiness of it all.
Exactly.
Oh, no. I am nothing but, at the end of the day, a child of God, and
Sure.
that's why my celebrity friends would get upset because I'd be going all out. I'm talking to people at events, I'm signing autographs, and I remember, I won't name names, but a few, so that they was upset. Like, Ernie, you don't owe them that, and I went,
Yeah.
but I don't. You do your thing,
Right.
I don't mind. I'm going to them. I'm hugging them. They don't have to. Some are shy and they kind of look at you. I'll go over there. I'll go to them and hug them. And that's because I said to God, I will give him the glory, not me the glory.
Right.
I'll give him the glory. So I do that, and I love it. I love helping people, and I've always done that. Share whatever monies I have, and I thank God for this new success because, again, God knows. He gives me the ball, makes me the quarterback. He knows people are going to be saved. I'm going to help with their finances, the home, whatever I need to do, surgeries. It makes me happy. I love acting, but there's nothing that makes me happier than making somebody else happy.
Well, you truly made us happy today by, donating your time, which we know is very valuable to our YouTube channels, the Fineaswine cooking channel, the Rolynn Reviews YouTube channel, and our subscribers. We have some people in the chat that are old enough to remember the shows and the movies, and when we told them that we were going to be interviewing you, they were like, so they've been excited and they've been waiting, and so we just again being so humble, because it is kind of for some people earth-shattering when they meet their favorite stars, and then they're like standoffish, and they realize, you're famous because of these people who watched you. You made money because of these people. Now you don't want to have anything to do with them, or come on, that's not.
Say it, Mama.
I don't understand that, and I know at some people, I won't name names,
right?
But I went, how dare you? And Ali would straighten you out.
Oh yeah.
Ali has straightened a bunch of celebrities. Like, if you standing near me, don't you ever refuse an autograph.
Oh yeah.
Don't you ever refuse a photo. Oh, he tell me, don't be with me. Oh, he didn't like that. He said, you can take all the fame and all. If I can't be with, especially his black folk, he said, if I can't be with my people, he would go like the PBS, Kalila was saying, he would take a suitcase full of money, whatever city, and go in the ghetto, go in the neighborhoods and give money out, dishing it out, just giving it to people. He loved it. He loved all people, but he really loved. He says they were trying to, Ali, you shouldn't be associated with this, and y'all can keep all this. You can have this fame, you can have that money, but I can't be with my black folks.
Come on,
you can have it all.
Come on.
They tried to stop him. You know, Ali didn't listen. He did his own thing. Always.
As you always should. Do your own thing.
As you always should. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm definitely going to stay in contact with you, particularly when it's time for our birthday, because I got to send you some birthday love.
Oh yes, absolutely. Please do. We'll have to do like a little celebration online.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We'll toast each other online
on our channels.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. That's
early
sounds
birthday,
good.
and thank you, Ernest, once again.
Thank you.
And you stay blessed, brother.
You too. Stay blessed.
You all right.
Supernatural blessing.
Ernest, and again, I have your email, so I'll continue reaching out to you to say, if it's just, you say, have a blessed day. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll let you know about the movies as they come out too.
Yeah, your books and things. I know they're on Amazon, so I definitely want your autobiography. I don't have that yet, but I will have it soon.
Okay. Well, you know what you do? Email me.
Okay.
I'll give you both a copy. You don't have to worry about it. I'll sign you, give you an autographed copy.
Thank
and
you.
Also, I got, I'll give you, this is Mr. Omar. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
But I also have a What's Happening.
Come on.
Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, shoot.
Wow. What a blessing. What a blessing.
Dropping them nuggets.
That's right.
Oh, man.
I love it.
So what I'll do, fine, if you'll email
my old butt. I fell.
You fell.
I fell down. No, it was hard. I fell 72 years trying to get up.
That's
this is what's
anywhere.
happening.
Man, I'm gonna put that in the plaque. I'm gonna put that.
So I'm gonna give. Just send me the address, and I'll send you both.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
I can't believe I fell. My old butt fell.
That's okay. That's okay. You got back up.
I got back.
Wait, bro. You might got some competition. She do that laugh just as good as you now, Ernest.
You know what? I'm checking you out, Aries.
For no reason now. See.
I'm going to email you both of our addresses, Ernest.
Okay.
And, like I said, I'm going to stay in contact with you to make sure.
Oh yeah, do that. Oh yeah. This is not the end. This is the beginning. This is just the beginning. Yes.
Thank you, Ernest. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you so much. Our subscribers are elated. They're thanking you. Thank you very much. I'm going to
thank your subscribers. Thank you for blessing me up. Thank you both for blessing me up.
Thank you. We love you, and God continue to bless you.
Thank you. Right. You too, baby. You too.
All right.
All right.
All right. All right.